Hey, I'm Kristin,
And I'm Ashley.
and this is Locked in a Closet.
Join us as we tell each other stories of true crime, the paranormal, urban legends, and all things spooky. Okay, welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
Hi. I'm in a absurdly good mood right now because I just opened my gift that Kristin sent over for little baby G.
presents. Little baby.
I started to hold things up like people could see them. No,
We can post it on the Instagram.
That's true. You took pictures. I'll take pictures. Yeah. She did this incredible cross stitch of like me and Jeff and our dogs, which the dog detail, because like I don't have like typical looking dogs, or they're like almost like Dalmatians.
Almost Dalmatian-y, yeah, but
Yeah.
like tiny little.
And you can tell, I can tell because they're my dogs, like which one's which. And then me holding the little baby.
Little baby.
And then well, I should have said this one first, but it's like a late Christmas one, but it's the let's see if I can say this right. The horror-nament of Bigfoot to go on my tree. That's gonna be amazing.
Everybody needs a Bigfoot on their Christmas tree.
And then a little Bigfoot book that I can't wait to read. And then, oh my god, how many different shirts did you make? One,
I think 6.
2, 3. Yeah. Oh my god. And one of them has the Locked in a Closet logo. I cannot wait to show that when the baby's in it.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited for you.
Yeah. Once that baby's in that'll be posted on the Insta. Oh my god. These shirts are like, one of them's like Bigfoot, I believe. One of them says, "Ew, David." And one of them looks like David's like iconic lightning bolt shirt, and it says "the bebe." My siblings have paws, which is so true. Mummy's little boo, they're so cute. Oh my god, I cannot wait to show Jeff.
So happy you like that.
Share these. Yeah, I'm obsessed. Like, if I hadn't already cried today, I feel like I'd be sobbing.
I had fun and just went crazy on my cricket.
I can't believe you made those. I love that. I love crickets. I'm gonna buy one of those. I don't care how expensive they are.
It's so fun. We just like anytime we need to make anything, we're just like, ooh, crickets. We get to use the cricket.
Right? Exactly.
So I love it.
And that was like the first time holding baby clothes since like I found out I was pregnant, and that's surreal. That's weird.
Yeah.
I haven't bought myself anything like that other than those shoes for like the picture I took, but
yeah. Shoes are way different than clothes. Clothes, it's like you could see like
how tiny
holding it. Yeah. It's wild.
But also how very big.
Yeah. Yeah, well, don't think about that part. Just think how tiny a baby is.
Lately, I have been thinking about that part a lot more.
Yeah.
It's like I finally got used to being pregnant and I finally feel good. And then I'm like, oh my God, I have to birth this now. I'm not emotionally, physically, spiritually ready.
I'm sure you'll be just fine.
Oh God. Like many things in life, I think I just need to be thrown off the deep end.
Yeah.
And deal with it.
Just hope for a small baby, small healthy baby.
Right. Yeah.
But
although it's got a big head, as we've seen in ultrasound. So.
Yeah. Oh dear.
I actually find out the gender this Friday. I can't wait.
I'm so excited.
Not that gender matters. I know gender is a construct,
but also it makes it just more real.
No. And then we can finally like pick a name, because right now it's just I have girl names and then I don't have any boy names. So it's like, do I need to be serious about finding a boy name or
or not even worry about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to my brother's house yesterday and my nephew was asleep. He's almost 9 months old now. He was asleep still, but my 3-year-old niece was there. They were just like playing a game, doing whatever, and she's very much like missing humans. He said like anytime they're at a park and anybody walks by, she's just like talking to them like she knows them and like asking them questions and stuff. And I went and I sat beside her at the table. They were playing a board game, and she just stops and she looks at me and she like crawls onto me, and I have my little ghost tattoo behind my ear. She just like rubs at it. She goes, "I like your ghosty." I was like, "Oh, thanks." And then she saw my nose ring and she like went and pulled on my nose ring. She goes, "Oh, I love your nose ring." I was like, "Okay, thanks." She goes, "Auntie, you're my best friend." I was like, "Oh, you're my best friend."
Oh my gosh.
Like she's just precious. Oh my God.
Kills
I love
you.
babies.
Yeah.
She's not a baby anymore, but
kids are so social, and like this must be just torture for them to not be running around and be social.
Yeah,
like,
my brother was saying, because like I have an older niece too, and she's at school. So whenever they walk over to pick her up from school, Olive just like talks to everybody. She just goes, "Hi, hi, we're going to pick up Willow."
Deprived of human interaction.
Yeah, oh, she's so cute. After the last lockdown, after the last lockdown ended, Michael and I went over. And we get in the house and she just goes, "I'm so excited you're at my house." I was like, "Yes, you."
I hope that the kids of this, the really young ones, I guess they're called Gen Alpha now, I hope they don't remember a lot of this, because it's just tragic.
It's so weird.
Yeah. Like I know
people
that
are saying little like babies that were born during like all of this, their best friend is like a mirror baby. And I'm like, oh, that's so sad.
Right.
Like their only baby they know is themselves.
I've seen a few videos where people are like, help, like my baby is the only other interaction they've had is like with my dog. So they're like picking up their dog's mannerisms and like, that's going to be mine. I got 2 dogs for this baby to crawl after.
Oh God. Yeah. It's going to be, it'll be interesting to see how it affects all babies.
Yeah. Hopefully
there's going to be lots of them.
So. Yeah. Although actually, no, I assumed there'd be a baby boom, especially because like I'm pregnant, but apparently no, it's not what they thought it was going to be at all. And they're concerned, but
really,
I've seen arguments because people are like, oh, the boomers are saying that like, our generation and younger aren't having enough kids to support them when they get older. And it's like, another person made a good point where it's talking about the baby boom, like the boomers were a boom. They weren't like, it wasn't like a normal thing for that many children to be born at once. So it's like, of course our numbers aren't going to match that, because it's like it's a different circumstance. So it's hard to say like whether or not we're going through a sort of weird recession of not having children.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, because it's like
weird how the patterns go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's strange. It's a strange world, but vaccines are coming, I guess. So
hopefully.
Maybe 2022 will be the one.
Oh my God. Let's hope. Hopefully like half of 2021 will be.
I know, like summer.
Yeah, I know. My best friend's getting married on June 13th, and she was supposed to get married June 13th last year. So I'm just like, okay, like we're getting
June is still so close and still so like not.
I'm a little bit concerned for her, but like she's very much in the mindset that like, yes, this is ideally what we want, but I mean, if we have to have a backyard thing, who cares at this point? They've already had to postpone once. So
yeah, that's good that she's got that like mindset. I didn't have a big wedding, but I had a normal-ish wedding, and it's like everyone deserves to have what they want, and it sucks that people can't have that right now.
Yeah, we were gonna have a small wedding, but a big party. Yeah, and I mean, we had a very small wedding, and eventually we'll have a Halloween party. Who knows when? Whenever everybody's vaccinated and.
Right, and it's safe, and then it'll be one of those ones you don't remember.
Yeah, exactly.
You black out.
We'll all drink to forget.
Yeah, it'll take one drink for me precisely.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Yeah, you'll be a cheap guest.
Totally.
That's awesome. Okay, should we get started?
Should we?
Should I get started?
Yeah. Oh, I just wanted to ask you actually, have you been following the cult commune TikTok drama?
Oh, is that the one that you sent me?
I sent you like 2 weeks ago now, I guess.
Yeah. No, I haven't been following it.
I don't know if it's because I've just been like liking everything I see, but for like the last 2 weeks, it has like spiraled.
Oh no.
To like expose level of like,
oh my God, tell me everything.
I'll try and make it short, but basically, yeah, like, because for anyone unfamiliar, there was this TikTok going around of these people in a commune, and I think in like Tennessee, and they were just being very open about like, hey, like we're this like commune, and come and join us, and giving their full address, like come join us at like 8492 Lafayette Street or whatever it was. I don't remember what it was.
First of all, that's a huge red flag. Like, don't go to a random address that you find on TikTok.
Right, like total red flag, because of this, I've learned so much actually about like real communes that I didn't know. Like, it's actually quite difficult to join one. Like, it's almost like a job interview. Like, you need to be interviewed by the people of the commune, make sure you're a good fit. Like, they don't just let anyone in, because why would they? They want their community to be safe and they want you to make sure that you're going to actually like participate and help out.
Right.
So like if anyone's just like, come join our commune, like that should be a red flag in itself. And then I guess like because of that, everyone was like, yeah, I'm getting real fishy, like suspect thoughts from this. So a lot of people did some digging and found out like a lot of the members have like criminal records. They like one of these girls that a lot of the people focused on, her name was like Rel, and she skinned her dog and her cat.
Oh
like
my
killed
God.
her. So they ate it.
Ew.
On the I know. Like apparently their excuse was that the cat killed a chicken on the farm, so the cat had to be put down, which is like,
so you skinned it?
Yeah, so they ate it and then they skinned it and she made it into a hat and she made the dog into a skirt, which
oh my
what the fuck did the dog do?
Just, like adopt them out. Like somebody would have taken them.
Exactly. So that was like one of the biggest things that everyone was like, what the fuck? And they ate the cat and they were like proud of it. They're like, nothing goes to waste. I'm like, it's not a buffalo. Like, Jesus.
That's the first animal eating.
But yeah, so God. And then yeah, some of the people have like criminal records. Like there was a video one of the girls did, because I guess people were, you know, joking and calling them like Jonestown and calling them a cult. So they had this like jar of like hooch that I guess they had basically made themselves, and they had Kool-Aid written on the side, and they were passing it around. And everyone was like joking, like, oh, drinking the Kool-Aid. And it's like, that is in such poor taste. Like hundreds of people died unwillingly. And they were like laughing and joking and being like, we're not a cult. Oh, gonna drink the Kool-Aid. And then like pretending to die after like drinking it.
Oh my God. Who, like, what is wrong with these people?
Right?
Oh my God.
TikTok, I don't know, that side of TikTok exploded because it was like on my For You page all day, every day. And I was just like, yes, like
consuming all of it.
Oh my God. Yeah. Liking every single bit of it.
Oh.
And then yeah, just like like if you look at the TikTok too, it's like a lot of the men that are there are a lot like significantly older, and all of the women are quite young.
Ugh.
So like, what is that dynamic there? Like,
yeah,
were they allowing on? And yeah, just and then all of a sudden, because everyone was basically shitting on them and like digging and finding out like crazy stuff about each person, they all stopped posting, and so I haven't heard anything about it recently.
Oh my God, we'll probably hear it in the news.
Yeah, someone said Vice is doing a documentary, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm watching this unfold, and it's gonna be a documentary. Like,
that's wild. Oh
yeah,
my God.
It's been like straight drugs into my veins right now. I'm so like, I love it. I love hearing about it.
Yeah, I know you had sent me those two a couple weeks ago, and then I honestly forgot about them. Like I was like, "Ooh, that's weird," and then yeah, ooh, God,
it got weirder. Yeah, I wish I could remember more, but
oh my God, this is not at all related to cults, but it is related to TikTok. Have you seen the TikTok of? It's like a podcast. These two guys are sitting on a couch, and the one of them says Tupperware. Yeah. I am
that one.
Addicted to that podcast. I just now am caught up with the podcast. I've been listening to it nonstop. It's so funny.
I get a lot of their clips and I die laughing every time.
Give It Up for Lent one.
Yeah, that one too.
That? Oh my God. Like, it's so funny. They're hilarious. I love
the
that.
Tupperware one.
Babe.
Okay, I'm gonna have to add that because they are funny, and every time I see them, I always like it.
Yeah.
But the Tupperware one actually felt like so close to home because I used to have a boss. I love her. She's hilarious. But she would say Tupperware. Like Tupple. And I swear to God, me and a bunch of other people that were there would like correct her. And we're like, it's Tupperware. And she'd say Tuppleware every single time. And it got to the point where it's like, you know what the real word is. Stop saying Tuppleware.
You have zero excuses at this point.
Exactly. And so when I heard that, I died a little inside because I was like, oh my God, it's not just her that like fucks it up.
I've never heard anyone call it Tupperware. I think
Tupperware or
funny.
Tuppleware. Yeah, it's like Tupperware. Yeah.
That's so funny. I love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, definitely listen to it. It's so funny. I love them so much.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's enough. I'll let you get into it because this is your episode. We're kind of going back to basics today.
Going back to the OG format.
Mm-hmm. You're telling me
all
about
spotlights on me. I'm just like, ooh. What do I do?
I know. I'm just here for comic relief.
There's gonna be so many likes and ums in this episode. I apologize to myself for editing.
Oh, actually, because we were going to talk about this, I totally binged that Netflix series, Surviving Death, yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was great. I loved it, except for the episodes about the medium who like sits in like the closet thing. I forget what her name was, which is like pretty typical of how they used to do like seances and stuff back in the day. I laughed so hard through that episode because like I just couldn't take it seriously. It's like, if you have one spirit guide, okay, but then there was that little boy.
Yeah.
And then she would talk like an old timey little Mickey Mouse boy. And I was just like, no, that's not real.
That one was a little bit too far. I think I actually just like skipped through the ectoplasm episode because I was like, okay, whatever.
I literally in my notes I said, and all the talk about ectoplasm, like,
yeah,
I'm here for, believing in mediums, believing people can speak to the other side. That just
I wasn't into the ectoplasm thing.
No. That series, if you are still dealing with grief, be prepared, because I was not expecting to cry as much as I did.
No. Sorry, I should have told you.
No, it's okay. I mean, I kind of figured, because it's all about like talking about people who are trying to contact those from the other side. But just a trigger warning there. If you're still not over someone's death, go into that one expecting to cry.
Yeah, big time. The episodes that I really liked in that show series, whatever, were the ones about the kids that remembered their past lives.
Yeah, that was like the last episode.
So cool. Yeah, I love that. I remember like years ago going down the rabbit hole on YouTube of just like kids that remember their past lives, and I was like, this is insane. Like, how?
I just felt so validated for like that weird experience I had as a kid.
Yeah, you're Amelia Earhart.
Yeah, exactly. Like, while I don't remember my past experiences, someone tried to tell me about them. Like,
yeah, it's just so cool. Like the one where they contacted like the guy's daughter, and it was like a checklist, and he got so many of them. I was like, that's crazy. This is like a little kid. I
feel like I heard about that one on a podcast a couple years ago.
Oh, really?
So I was kind of familiar with the story, and then I saw it in this episode, and I was like, oh my God, I kind of know this one. Like,
yeah, it was really cool.
And the one with the girls in the car crash. I remember hearing about that one too. Like,
oh, really?
The twins. Yeah. Oh my God.
That's crazy. Just crazy. I love it. I think it's so cool.
I'm so skeptical when it comes to mediums. So I might roll my eyes sometimes, but I don't want to be. But I just feel like so many people get taken advantage of.
Yeah. It's important to be a little bit skeptical. Like,
yeah.
In my stories that I am going to talk about, like, I went in expecting nothing. Like, I was just like, it's cool, whatever. It's like an entertainment kind of thing, whatever.
Yeah.
It turned out to be more than that, but I would have been fine if it was just that. So, yeah.
And I'm excited to hear your stories, because then maybe it'll make me feel less skeptical, or at least more that some could be real.
Yeah.
Rather than, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So the first one I'm going to talk about is, I mean, probably the most validating one for me anyway. So I've talked about it so many times. My nanny passed away when I was 16. So it was in 2010. Yeah. And then in 2013, my mom and I went to see like a really well-known psychic in like a group setting. I don't know if you ever watched the show Paranormal State.
A long time ago.
But Chip Coffey was one of the psychics that was on it quite a bit. It was him that we went to see.
Chip, I remember the name of.
Yeah. He's like a little old man with glasses. He always wears scarves. He's adorable. Anyway, so we went to go and see him. And we just went because like we were fans of him, because my mom and I used to watch that show all the time. It was at Chateau Laurier in like one of the
which is haunted.
One of the rooms like in the basement, kind of. Not the basement. That makes it sound like it's like creepy, but
it's
like,
probably like a one of their
they have like conference rooms and stuff.
Conference rooms. Thank you. That was the word. Yeah.
And there were like 3 ticket options. There was just like a general one. There was one with a meet and greet, and then there was one where you could like do an investigation with him.
Oh wow.
We didn't do the investigation because my mom and I are wimps. So we didn't want to get scared. We just wanted to like see stuff. So we got the meet and greet one, which I have a picture of him and me and my mom, which is so cute, and I love it so much. So we went in. We like got seated by somebody kind of, but like not really. They were just like, okay, like go sit here, whatever. We didn't think twice about it. And then when he came in, the first thing that he said was that we're not sitting where we're sitting for no reason. Like, there's a reason why you're sitting beside the strangers that you're sitting beside.
Oh, wow.
Who knows what that is? Like, maybe we'll figure out, whatever. So he like went on for a little bit.
Wait, so were you separated from your mom?
No, I was sitting with my mom.
Oh, okay.
But it was like it's kind of like how wedding seating is set up. There's like an aisle in the middle, and then there's like seats on side. And there were 6 seats and 6 seats. Like per
I was gonna say, I wonder if he like separated you guys so that it was more like
you're on your own.
Well, no, it was more like to prove that it was real. Like, I can tell you two belong together or something. I don't know, but you were together, so it doesn't matter.
No, we were together, but it was just like us, strangers beside us, and then strangers beside us on the other side too. That's just how we were. So he said that, and then he was just like going on for a little bit, and then he started just like reading the room. So he did like 2 or 3, and then he went to the people beside us. It was a mother and daughter too. The daughter's boyfriend had just passed away in like a really bad car accident.
Sad.
So he was like really angry that he had died, and he was like had a really hard time like crossing over, that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember a lot of details, but I remember her crying really hard, and I was like, oh my God, I feel so bad.
Well, of course, like you're gonna think more of like your own stuff.
Yeah. And then right after they were done, he got us to stand up, and I figured that I would cry really hard, but I was just kind of like, okay, you need to remember everything that he's saying.
Oh my God.
So my mom was like crying, but I was just like, nope, I got to remember all of this.
You just turned those emotions straight off.
They were gone. Like, sorry, I love you so much, but
like, I got to remember.
Right in information mode.
Yeah.
And my nanny came through like pretty much right away.
Oh my gosh.
And he said that she didn't pass right away, and she was also pissed off that she had died earlier, because she was actually, I think she was 60.
Oh my God, so young.
Oh my God, I don't even remember how old she was.
I know. I can't remember. My grandma passed around in her 60s too, and I don't remember the exact age. And it was like way too young. She was
like young 60s, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. So she was angry that she passed. She like didn't want to go. So it like took her a while to, I guess, like transition. I don't know. Like proper terminology.
Whatever the term, yeah.
Yeah. He said that she was really moody, which like that's where I get it from. And she was angry that she was sick. She had cancer. And she was dying, but she didn't want to like let anybody know that she was angry, which like, yeah, it sounds like a Weaver woman to me.
Oh my God, this sounds so much like my grandma's story too. Like, she died of cancer. Yeah, she didn't tell anybody. She also had like lung disease, and we didn't know until after she passed away. She didn't tell anybody.
Oh yeah. God. Well, we knew. Like, we knew that Annie had cancer.
We know she had different cancer. Lung disease was separate, but she didn't tell us like the extent of how sick she was.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously you're not gonna be mean to somebody, but you can't be like supportive to them and like be with them and stuff. That's
and know like the full extent of what they're going through, Yeah.
I remember too, like, because she was in the hospital for quite a bit before she did pass, and she kind of waited. Not that you can really choose when you die, but she like, I went to see her, my brothers went to see her, my cousin went to see her, and like after everybody had kind of like said their final goodbyes, that's when she like went.
That is such a common story. Hey, like it's like they hold on until they feel like, okay, I've said goodbye to everyone, because
like they're just fighting so they can
Oh,
okay, gonna try not to get emotional.
Oh my God, I know we're gonna cry this episode.
I know this is gonna be bad. Okay, so I could totally understand why she was angry. I would be too, especially being so young. So at the time that we went, I was debating taking over ownership of a store that I was working at, and he like looked right at me and he said that she is telling me to stop going in between decisions and just get it together and do it. Like exactly what it was, but like that I was going back and forth, like, should I go back to school, should I like take over, like, I don't know, because I was 19 and that's not something.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. She also told me that she liked my glasses, which was cute.
Ooh.
And then for my mom, basically my dad, just a little bit of backstory, he's like the epitome of a homebody. Like, he never wants to go anywhere, he like just wants to be at home, whatever. So she told my mom, because my mom is not like that, that if she wants to go somewhere, like, just go. Like, he said it like that, like, just go.
Yeah.
Like,
don't
move
wait.
his hand like that, which like, yeah, I totally understandable. This is my dad's mom also.
Okay.
So he said that Nanny was saying to like not basically don't let dad talk mom out of like doing stuff that she wants to do or like change her mind and like anything like that. And then she said that she loved us. And then it was actually really weird. The whole time he was talking, he was rubbing his hand like that.
Oh my gosh.
Which like my Nana used to do. Sometimes,
no.
Like I remember her doing that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like I don't know if she was like scratching like her thumb or what, or if it was like a nervous habit.
I feel like it's like a tick or something.
Yeah. But yeah, she like used to do that when she was hanging out. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, that was
because I've never seen anyone do that in my life. So
I know.
I can't say that's a common thing for people to just sit there and do.
Yeah. And I don't I don't know. I just remember her doing it. So that one was kind of like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like, what's happening? So that's the only like, I don't know, famous psychic that I've ever gone to.
That's cool that you even went to a famous one. Was he just like, was it like when the tour almost?
Yeah.
When you get tickets?
Oh, okay. That's not true. I saw Teresa Caputo, but nothing happened. Nothing.
Yeah. Because those group setting ones, like, it's just not guaranteed.
Well, and the difference too was that Chip Coffey was at Chateau Laurier and it was like maybe 100 people. Teresa Caputo was at like Canadian Tire Center. So it was like a huge audience. And I was like, there's absolutely no chance that we're getting anything done here. So I did see her driving that same day though.
Oh, no way. She's just like us. Just drives
like us. She drives. All I saw was like a halo of blonde hair.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. And then the other like personal story that I have is at that same store that I ended up taking over. I worked with a lady named Pat, and she is just like very spiritual. And a few years after I like didn't have the store anymore and had like moved on, she started doing card readings and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, that's fun. I want to get my cards read.
Yeah.
So she came over one day, and this was when I was still like with my ex. And I was just like not really happy. It was like coming to the end of that relationship.
Yeah.
So when she first started, it was wild. Like I am in no way a spiritual person. Like I don't believe any of that really.
I know, right? Like crystals and charging and
not into
I have like a crystal because I think it looks pretty. Like that's the extent.
Same. I have a couple crystals because they're pretty, but I don't think that they have energy. Sorry if you do.
Actually, like,
go right ahead.
Yeah, I've been seeing a thing on TikTok lately about Moldavite, which is like some sort of rock.
Yeah, I heard
it's supposed to like change your life like drastically, and I'm like, why would anyone take that chance?
I know,
even if I don't believe in it. Yeah, exactly. Because people are saying that like the day I bought it, like I was in a huge car crash, and then other people are like, the day I bought it, I found out I was pregnant. I'm like, these are two very different situations.
It's just like rolling the dice.
Literally. Yeah,
not into that. So okay, we were just like sitting at my kitchen table, and she's like, okay, I want you to close your eyes. You're gonna take a deep breath, and then like when you exhale, like picture like a white light coming from the sky, hitting the top of your head and going right through your body and like grounding you like into the ground.
Crazy.
And I could literally like feel shit in my feet. I was like, what is happening? Am I going crazy?
The mind is powerful though.
Oh my God, it was so weird.
Because like I have done like yoga where it's like afterwards it's not spiritual, but it's like they kind of get where you're meditating almost, and they're like, feel your limbs sinking into the earth below you, and you're like, whoa, I can feel it. But it's just like, that's your mind. It's crazy.
100%. So she did that, and then she's like, okay, I want you to think in your head of just like a question that you want answered today. And I was like, okay. Or maybe I wrote it down or something. I don't remember. But it was like, am I actually going to be happy? Because I was really unhappy in my last relationship, which is why I broke it off. So she like went through the reading. It was the 3-card kind of thing. I know nothing about tarot cards. Like, it's like one for your past, one for the present, and one for your future. The past and present.
Like, sometimes the cards will say like death, but it doesn't mean that. It's like how they interpret it, which I'm like, how do you interpret it? Like, where's the instructions?
Yeah, for sure. So like obviously she knew some of my past because I had known her for a few years, but the card that she pulled, it was like something about like you've been betrayed in the past, which like I had big time, which is we're not going to talk about right now.
We don't need to get into that.
And it was just like somebody that was like really close to had like betrayed me and like all this stuff, and I was like, okay, yeah, I get that. And then the present, I don't remember anything about what the present was. literally no idea.
Yeah.
The future, she pulled a card, and I can like still picture it in my head. It was like a house in the background, and then it was like a tall man, a woman, and a like little girl in front of the house.
Oh my
and
God.
like,
That's your current fucking future.
I know.
Wait, what card was that? Because you should get that framed.
I know. I'll have to ask her because I'm still like in contact with her.
You should get like, you should just buy a tarot deck and like frame that one card because
I know. Isn't it crazy? So at the time, being in another relationship, obviously I had no idea that Michael existed. Like I had no idea. I had been with my ex-boyfriend since I was 16. Yeah, I think I was 16.
Oh my goodness.
So I was just like, oh, okay, great. Like everything's gonna work out. We're gonna buy a house. We're gonna have a kid. Obviously,
that's how I would interpret that too, actually.
Yeah, like because you don't expect like, I don't know.
Especially when you're when you've been together with someone for that long, despite how you feel, you're like, it'll get better or something, right?
Yeah,
like,
I think we were engaged at that point too. So I was just like,
then
okay,
of course,
great. Everything's going to be fine. Whatever, I'll just get over it. No,
glad you didn't.
Anybody that's listening, like, if you're thinking that like stuff is shit, it probably is.
I was gonna say, if you think at all in your situation, am I gonna get happy? That's the red flag.
Yeah, I literally remember being engaged and thinking to myself like, oh, it's okay, we can just get a divorce. And I'm like, you're not even married. Like,
oh no. Oh no.
Anyway,
yeah,
so
that's not good.
Clearly it was for the better that one ended, and now I met Michael and everything's great.
You're married and you're happy.
Yeah. So that's what I thought it was, and I was like, okay, whatever, that's fine. Mm-hmm. And then like years later, after I had broken up with that person and like everything changed and stuff, and Michael and I were going to be moving in together, I remembered that story and I was like, oh my God, like it's literally me and him and Avery, like his daughter.
Yeah, because he had a daughter when you met him, so it wasn't like a surprise. It was just like, wait a minute.
And like that wasn't
putting the puzzle.
Like, that wasn't ever like fresh in my mind, you know, like it wasn't something that I thought about all the time.
Yeah.
Like it was when I was in my last relationship. Like I didn't really, you know, try to block a lot of that out.
And it wasn't like something you were manifesting because you weren't thinking about it. It was just like one day you were like, oh shit, like you made that realization.
Wow, you're good. I think I actually messaged her on Facebook and I was like, listen, I don't know if you remember this, but like it happened. Like, crazy. And like that's a literal like thing of the card.
Sometimes it's not so literal, but that one seemed to be like literal.
Yeah, like okay, you're gonna get married, you're gonna like this is happening.
A girl, he's gonna be tall. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I will have to ask her what deck that was, and then maybe I can find it and buy it,
or at least what the card was, because then you can at least pick one that looks you like the artwork of. It's also different.
So anyway, those are my personal stories. I do have 3 more pages of notes.
Because you talk about someone else's, but I'll just say my one, because I did go see like I called a mall psychic because that's what it was. It was like, I think I was at work one day and I came out and there was like a flyer on my windshield, and I guess a psychic had just like moved into one of like the units by my work. And I think it was either with my friend or it showed my friend, and it was like $20 to get like your palm read or your cards. And so we were like, whatever, let's go do this. Like we got time to kill. So we went, and like no expectations. It was just for fun. And the place was so like there was like a curtain on the wall to like separate the room. It was so I'm sure it was like a front. It must have been a front for like money laundering.
Yeah.
But then the lady or whatever, we gave her our money, and then I think she did like all 3, like looked at our palm and read our cards. Okay. Don't ask me what the third one was, because that just popped. I said 3. Maybe there was a fucking crystal ball. I don't remember. I think I was 16 too, or like 17. I was very young. Mm-hmm. And I remember at that point in my life, I was just sad and lonely, and all I wanted was a boyfriend. So of course the question that she's like, think of the question you want. And it was like, will I find love? And I don't think you tell the question. I think you just think it, right? And then she goes on to say that I'm just going to meet someone at work, which I didn't. But the man she described ended up being the man I married, which was weird. She said he's very tall, he has blue eyes, he has blonde hair, which generic boy. Okay. But like she also wasn't wrong. It was so long ago, and the experience was so lackluster. I don't remember much other than I gave her $20 to tell me generic things.
And then you lost $20 to hear that you're a very generic boy.
Exactly. It was one of those things where it was like we had fun. We talked about it afterwards, and
yeah. And really, I feel like that's what you need to go into it thinking. Yeah. Like, okay, this is for fun. Like, I'm not gonna go and like contact my dead relatives that like I miss so much. Like, you can't.
I did not expect anything. It was just like, let's go. Like, it was something to do because when you live in small towns, there's really not much to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the extent of that experience. Apparently, my dad, after my brother passed away, he said he went to a medium, and I think he needed that for like healing processes for him. And he said that like everything was good. My brother was good or safe or happy or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, like I wasn't there for the experience, so I don't know, but I'm just like, it's, you know, I'm glad you did something for your own trauma healing process.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I mean, if it helps, it's great.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need that, but I think it would be interesting. I'd like to go do it. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to pay anyone money.
I know. That's the thing. Like, I would love to just like meet with a medium, but I'm like, right? $250.
It's like
they're so expensive.
And there's so much about like, especially my brother's death, that's available online. So it's like, I don't know if I could trust. I'd have to go in with like a pseudonym and have them not know anything about me or be able to Google me, because otherwise I feel like they would just regurgitate things I post online. And then I would be like, oh my God, that's amazing. Like,
yeah, that's the thing. It's hard to know who you can trust, like, unless you find someone that like you click with and like you trust after seeing them for a couple times. But again, that's a lot of money.
I know, it's like the dream that like some random's gonna come up to you and tell you. Like, that actually happened at one of my old jobs. Not to me. I heard the story like secondhand, but there used to be a customer who I knew of. I didn't know she was like a medium, but she would come in all the time. And there was this one girl that used to work there. And one day she just ended up telling the girl, like, don't get into a red car, please. Like, I promise, like, do not get into a red car. Something bad is going to happen to you. And then she tried to explain like she was like a medium or whatever. And I don't recall the specifics if she either was in a red car or if it was just a red car that was involved, but she got into a really terrible car accident with a red car that was involved.
Oh my God.
And so it was all like, I remember talking all about that, being like, whoa, like she was not wrong, but
also, how many red cars are there on the road?
I know, right? Exactly. Like, it's, you could say anything and it, you know, you have a good chance of it being true.
Yeah. I actually was working one time at like an old retail job, and I was just helping this customer, and we were like getting along really well. And she's like, okay, I feel like we're kind of vibing, so I'm going to give you my card. And she was a medium. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But also I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was super nice. And like, it's cool, but like there's a local, but
like, I understand why they charge for it. It's a service. It's
whatever, it's their job.
It's their job. But I can't help but feel like it's a little bit predatory, you know, like,
oh, you want to especially talk to your with dead like relative that you miss?
Yeah. That I can Google quickly now because technology's there. It just makes me think of like Sylvia Browne on Maury. Like, I remember watching all of those episodes.
My mom loved Sylvia Browne.
And then the whole thing with like, was it Amanda Berry? The lady, she was the girl that was just recently, I don't know how many years ago now, like found out that she was kidnapped and kept as a captive, and then she escaped. But like Sylvia Browne told her family that she was dead, like confirmed dead, but she wasn't. Like, so then I start to go, oh, well, and she was such a phony. Like,
yeah. Oh my God. Can you imagine?
And like, apparently her mom passed away. So her mom just assumed her daughter was dead. Like, she never got to see Amanda Berry be rescued.
Oh,
like heartbreaking. And so she like, people speculate she like died of a broken heart because she thought her daughter was dead. Like,
yeah. Ugh, that's so sad.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if she was religious too, she probably figured that she'd be like
meet her there.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh no.
So sad. I don't know if she's religious, but
I don't know.
Really sad. Okay, so my aunt sent me 3 pages worth of notes.
Wow.
I
can't wait.
Loves going to mediums. Like, she's gone to quite a few of them. She lives in Kingston. I love her to death. She's the sweetest lady. I feel like I need to explain a little bit of backstory though. We didn't know that Tam existed until probably 10 years ago. Like it was probably right around 10 years ago that we found her, or she found us. My nanny that passed away, she had Tam when she was quite young. I think she was like 18 or something. And she wasn't able to like care for her enough. So she ended up giving her up for adoption. But Tam was adopted by my nanny's sister's best friend.
Okay.
So all through her life, Nanny like knew where Tam was and like knew how she was doing. But Tam didn't know that my nanny was her mom. Anyway, that's just a little bit of backstory. She found us about 10 years ago. It was like 6 months after Nanny passed away. And like we absolutely adore her. She's wonderful. I love her so much.
How did she find you guys? Like
they hired a private investigator.
Wow, that's cool. Because like nowadays, people are finding each other through like 23andMe and realizing that they're related.
Yeah, it's honestly wild though. Like I absolutely adore her. And I know she loves mediums. So I reached out to her to be like, hey, did you want to come on the podcast? But she's rather shy. So
it is a little daunting.
Yeah. Okay, so she sent me again 3 pages worth of notes of just like her experiences. I'm probably just gonna read exactly what she wrote instead of trying to tell her story. Okay. The first person I ever loved and lost was my grandma Simpson. So that would have been her mom's mom. No, her dad's mom, sorry. Still miss her. I would have been 30 when she passed away, but was never contacted, unfortunately. My dad passed away in 1993, was devastating. I had my mom to take care of, so that did help. I woke up one night and my dad was standing at the end of my bed.
Ooh.
I wasn't scared and felt really comfortable.
Oh, that's good.
It wasn't for long. I don't remember Dad saying anything, but he wanted to know that he was okay. It wasn't a dream. It was definitely real. That also happened to my mom after her dad passed away.
Yeah, same with I don't know if it was my mom, but I know my grandma had like similar things where like when someone in the family passes away, like the other women of the family like stand at the foot of their bed. Like it's such a common thing I hear that I can't not believe it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think my mom actually talked about it when I did the episode with her, but she was like 12, and like the night after her dad died, he was like sitting on the end of her bed like talking to her.
They talk about that in that show. I can't remember what they call it. There's a name for it where it's like I should have wrote it down, but it's this type of like apparition that happens.
Yeah. It's
specifically.
I think that's really cute. Shortly thereafter, my friend Gloria and I went to a medium in Kingston. It's the first time that she ever went to a medium. She said, I think Gloria went first and I was a skeptic. The first thing she said was she called me China, which is what her dad used to call her all the time. They also like had a dog named that. Like it was like a huge thing in her life was that name, China.
Secret nicknames, like
I hope nobody ever finds out my secret nickname from my dad.
I know, right? Like I've got one too that I'm like, that's how I would know if my brother came through.
Yeah.
It'd be a very specific nickname that I had as a childhood.
Yeah.
In my childhood, rather.
Yeah, for sure. It was 27 years ago, so her memory is pretty vague. She said, I know that Dad did talk to me at that time. And then she says, I was lucky enough to find Veronica Hart, which I guess Heart to Heart is her business name.
That sounds familiar.
A medium in Kingston. She said, I think I've probably seen her about 4 times now. It's interesting readings, and she'll tell what stands out below. The first one, her dad came through and he was chatting away. She said, when we were leaving, Veronica said he was still chatting and would not stop. And that would be my dad. I guess he called her China again. And he didn't like what her mom was doing to her family, which was ignoring us for Bill. Bill was her mom's new boyfriend.
Oh.
He said he welcomed Jody. Hang on. Okay, Jody is my cousin.
Like I have to give you backstory.
Yeah. So Jody is Tam's daughter, and I guess she had a miscarriage.
Oh.
And her dad said that he welcomed Jody's baby when she miscarried, and the baby was with him.
I'm gonna cry.
I know. That's so sweet. So another time, the whole hour that she was there was spent talking about how she needed to watch her mom's little pills. So that's all she got. She thought it was like a huge waste. Until the following Saturday when her whole family had met for breakfast, and her mom looked terrible and seemed like really confused. So they went to Emerge right away, and her little blood pressure pills were not strong enough, and she was really sick. And that like completely blew her away.
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy that like somebody would know that.
It's a little frustrating how sometimes it's so vague, because then it's like if she hadn't, And luckily they went to emergency and things were fine. But like if she hadn't thought of it or hadn't gone,
it's like the red car. Like you're not gonna, it's not gonna stay with you.
Or it's like you can't not get into, like, what if you owned a red car? You're like, well, I can drive a red car.
Yeah, I'll just walk everywhere, I guess.
Yeah.
The next visit that she had just gotten married long before. Veronica said that her dad was over by her left hand the whole visit and was really happy and excited. He was like looking at her ring and stuff. That's
so sweet.
So Tam's mom passed away 3 years ago now. So another time when she was with Veronica, she said that there were 2 ladies that wouldn't let go, which I guess like they wouldn't leave her alone. I don't know. One lady was passing something to another. Tam said she was with her kids and we had no idea. Through the reading, she kept coming back to the 2 ladies and they refused to leave. She then looked at me and asked if I was adopted. So she said that her biological mom was passing me to my mom. So it was literally like the image of like Nanny passing a baby to like Tam's mom.
Oh my God. And she didn't know she was adopted at that point?
She knew she was adopted at that point.
Okay.
But she didn't know that, like, apparently that's exactly how it happened. Like Nanny gave the baby to Tam's mom.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So she didn't.
Could you imagine though, like if she didn't know she was adopted and that's how
she found out? Yeah, that's wild. That is wild.
Yeah.
So she wrote, that's exactly how it happened, but I didn't know that until about 11 years ago when she found us.
Wow. Also, how would the medium know that she was adopted? It's like, that's not...
you wouldn't. Like, okay, the next one. I also attended 2 readings by Blair Robertson, who I've heard of before. I think I know somebody else that may have seen him as group readings. The first time he kept saying that he had a spirit with him and that December 5th will let the person in the audience know he's connecting with them. My Uncle Bob's birthday is December 5th, and he had been gone about a year. So it ended up being him. Uncle Bob said that he was proud of my daughter, Jamie, and wanted me to help his son, Scott, as Scott was into drugs pretty bad, which was crazy. The second time she saw Blair was about a month after her mom passed away. He said that something was charging through all the other spirits, so they could be the one that was like coming through. She said she knew when he said that it was my mom, which is really funny. Just like move out of the way.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. She talked about how she was having fun again and that alcohol was involved. LOL, Tam wrote. So Auntie Lois and her mom, which I guess would be her mom's sister, are together again having a crazy time. She told me something very sad was going to happen soon and that she would be by my side a couple months after they lost 2 of their puppies.
Oh, no.
So she said that the kitty Molly, who was a really sweet cat, would come back and play with Charlie, who's their other cat. And that when she sent something low, it would be Molly.
Oh my God, phantom cats.
Yeah.
I know your story.
Yeah. I got a couple. I sense this all the time and would look, she said. I guess her mom just kept talking. And it was verified to her at the very end. Wow. Only I knew that I was planting a tree for Mom. At the end, she thanked me for having the tree planted for her. And it was a super special moment, which, that's really cute.
I have a tree for my brother. That's so funny.
You?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. That's such a nice way to remember somebody.
Exactly. Although we haven't planted it yet, still in its pot. And I don't know if it's going to survive an Ontario winter. So
yeah.
Might
what
be
kind
a
of tree is it?
It's a magnolia and they don't really grow out here, it looks like, but
yeah,
we're going to give it a try. Yeah.
Okay. Backstory for this one. Tam works, she like owns a business and the building that they're in is like kind of an older building and there's like really narrow hallways and like staircases and stuff. It's like kind of like a creepy looking building on the inside. I mean, obviously it's very nicely like decorated and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a creepy building. In my opinion, anyway. I've only been once. So at work, we have a spirit that we called Charlie. Charlie scared me. I would call my partner to come in the odd time when I worked at night as I was really frightened. One night, a client and myself were getting up from my desk when we went to the stairs and we both heard a wee girl speaking. That's terrifying.
Oh my goodness.
There was nobody there and we checked everywhere. After that, we called our spirit Charlotte. Haven't seen her for a while, but the image of her floating up the stairs is still captured.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Can you imagine?
No.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
So Tam and her husband ended up moving into her mom's house after she passed away. And And I guess Tam has like a lot of senses of her mom being at the house. And one day she kept turning on her water pick, which is like, if you don't know, it's like a
floss thing, right?
kind of thing, but it's like water, like high pressure. So she said it was really funny, and she got like completely soaked by it. She says,
I like how that was funny. That would scare the shit out of me.
Yeah. She says, I feel her presence all the time, a lot of cold going over me, which is crazy. I feel like that's like, if you knew somebody like as closely as like, you know, your mom,
yeah,
you know if it was them like playing a prank on
that's so true. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, to end things off, we lost my mom's sister, Aunt Lorette, a week ago. On the Sunday, my stepson Jamie, she has a daughter named Jamie and a stepson named Jamie.
Oh, wow.
Confusing. On Sunday, my stepson Jamie was setting up a computer for Dawn, who's her husband. And the song How Great Thou Art started playing out of the blue. Dawn told him not to keep it playing because Tam would hear it and she would get upset, because she always does when she hears that song, because her mom sang it to her when she was little. So Jamie came up to tell her that it had happened, and all of a sudden he started to sob and shake. He couldn't snap out of it, and he said he felt Tam's mom's spirit go into him.
Whoa.
Tam said, truly it did. Mom always loved Jamie and wanted him to get better, because he struggled with like addiction and stuff in the past.
Yeah. That's crazy. I don't like that.
I know, that's a little scary.
Yeah. I don't like anything uninvited to like happen.
Yeah.
That's crazy though.
Yeah.
I like those little coincidences or like or not like moments of stuff like that where like a song plays or you smell like a perfume or something.
I love it. Like honestly, smelling my nanny's perfume is like, I mean, I have the actual perfume, but if I don't like spray it, if I just like get a whiff of like her perfume, I'm just like, oh, she's here.
I haven't had anything like that in a long time.
Yeah.
I remember stuff like that used to happen after my grandma passed away.
Yeah. I haven't had it since before we moved. I remember I was in the kitchen at my old place, which like you've been there. It was like the one like big room, dining room, living room. Michael was in the living room and I was in the kitchen. I just like burst into tears and he's like, what happened? Like, what's going on? It's because I could smell my nanny, but like,
oh my goodness,
talk about it.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. Sometimes you just need it, you know?
Yeah.
You're having a bad day.
Totally. Yeah. Like certain songs will forever be like tied to like my brother. So if they play on the radio, it's like I either have to change it or I have to embrace it and just like cry that whole drive home. Like,
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Although it's funny because I did binge that Surviving Death show and I was feeling a little sentimental. So I kind of said out loud, I said to my brother, I said, hey, like, you know, if you're around, give me a sign. Don't scare me, like don't be mean. And then last night I got up to go to the bathroom and I heard like a jingle sound, and at first my brain was just like, oh, it's just the dog's collar, but we take their collars off at night. And it I was like, immediately it was like, just kidding, I don't want the sign anymore.
I'm over it, it's okay.
I don't want it. Like, just
you hear that's enough.
Yeah, because I was like, what the fuck was that jingle? Like, I still don't know because we take their collars off at night because I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what made that noise, but I definitely closed my eyes as I walked back to the bed. I was like, I didn't look. I didn't want to see anything. I didn't. I was like, I regret my choice.
Shouldn't have said anything. I regret.
I was like, I was feeling sentimental in the moment.
It's past.
Yeah. I know you're probably fine. I'll take it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's nice when you want it to happen. If you're not
totally
in the mood or you're already spooked.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, it's like, I think I've mentioned this before in the past where like, you know, growing up, you're kind of mean with your siblings, and I used to scare him because he was my younger brother. So I would always joke to my mom that like, now that he's gone, he's going to haunt me and get back at me. And he hasn't, knock on wood, but it's like, he fucking good.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I don't want to scare you, but like, don't be surprised if your baby starts like staring off it.
I know.
Babies do that all the time.
I like, part of me, and like, this is like a sick social experiment that I don't know if I'll go through with, but I'm like, what if I never mention I had a brother or its name?
Just talks about it.
Right. And like, what if one day's like, Uncle Matt came to visit, and I'm like, how the fuck do you know that name?
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Yeah, that would be terrifying.
Right. I because part of me is like, I don't know if I want to talk about it early because then you have to explain what death is so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't know how early I'm going to explain I had a brother
mm-hmm.
and what happened to him. So like, if that happens, I might lose my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to explain it. There's so much in life that I'm like, oh, I got to figure this out now.
You got some time.
Yeah.
They're a baby for quite a while.
Yeah. And like, I think me and you were around the same age probably when our grandmas passed away. So it was like we had to deal with that kind of trauma early on.
Mm-hmm.
But I know so many people that like just like they're in their 30s and they're just losing like their first family member.
Yeah.
And I've lost so many already at this point that I'm like, oh, are you doing okay? Because I've gone through this trauma as a young person. Like
I lost an uncle and a great uncle. I was probably like 12 and like 15, 14 when I lost them, but I wasn't close to them. But like I went to the funeral and like experienced all that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was so important for me to go through before I lost my nanny, because I mean, I have my nanny's face tattooed on me. Like I absolutely adore that woman. So I feel like that kind of like prepared me for losing her.
I lost my first grandpa when I was like 6. So it was like a weird age because I don't really remember much of him, but I was like affected by it as a kid. And then and going through that prepared me for then when I lost my great grandmother and then my grandma and like all the other stuff. Like not like it's weird to me to think that like people are just going through like their first family deaths at this age, because I'm like,
which I mean, like in a way, like they're so lucky that they're just now doing it because they had so many more years with them.
Exactly.
But it's still hard. Like
yeah,
don't know how to like not get over it, but like process. And
well, it's part of me is just like it's hard to understand that emotion because it's like I was going through a different emotion because I was younger, so it was like heightened, or it was more, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, everything is the end of the world when you're a teenager.
Yeah. But I don't think I've ever, maybe as you get older you get more closed. I feel like I've closed myself off spiritually because I don't want to go through scary things. But I don't feel like I've had any like signs or anything from my brother, which seems weird.
Yeah, it definitely happened a lot more when I was a teenager, but also I mean, in my head it was all my nanny. Like that's what I'm telling myself. But I don't know, maybe it's just because it was just like more fresh in my mind.
Right.
Not that I'm over it, because like I will never get over that. But I've just kind of like learned to.
My favorite analogy is about grief is that it's like imagine like a box, and then there's a ball bouncing around in that box. And at the time, whatever you're going through, your grief is another circle inside that box. And like immediately after someone dies, that circle is basically the entirety of the box. So the ball bouncing around is constantly hitting grief. You're constantly feeling grief. And over time, the circle inside the box gets smaller, doesn't go away completely, just gets smaller, that sometimes the ball is bouncing around, it misses it, it'll hit the grief sometimes, and then you'll feel a ping of like sadness. Because every now and then
cry. Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, it's the best analogy because you'll never get rid of that ball. And then of course, like the more grief, the more things, there'll be more balls inside for it to ping off of. I imagine it like, you know, the DVD logo. It's like that. And then there's like another little ball inside. And sometimes it'll hit that ball, which is your grief. And because like I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll be sitting there and I'll randomly just think of like my brother or my grandma and get like sad. I'm like, where did that come from? It's like it's just hitting that little ball of grief inside of you. Yeah, no, that's a really good one. Yeah, because it never goes away. It's just there. Yeah, it just gets smaller. Yeah. So sometimes it's easier to avoid. Yeah. And then of course really good. Certain triggers will happen, which makes it kind of blow up a little bit. Yeah, for sure. No, it's definitely not something that ever goes away, but no. Just gotta keep going. What are we talking about next week? I actually have zero clue. I think it's a ghost one. Okay. I think we're due for a ghost one. Because we did just true crime before this, and then so yeah, we got ghosts, and then I think another true crime would be after that. I think another true crime would be after that. Yeah. Good. Excited. I can't wait to talk about ghosts. I've been wanting to do another ghost story one. Yeah, I really like the ghost ones. I think they're my favorite. Yeah, me too. The true crime ones get so hard sometimes. Speaking of true crime, I haven't watched it yet, but have you seen the new Netflix documentary, Murder Among the Mormons or whatever? Yes, I have. I watched it the other day. I think that's what I'm going to watch tomorrow.
Yeah. It took me a little bit to get into it, but it's pretty good.
Okay. I'm excited because I feel like that's a cult crossover true crime.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I've been watching a lot of like fundamental Christian cult
stuff. You were saying that.
So yeah, it was just like, oh, this is like right up my alley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that.
Okay, guys. Well, that was a super cool episode. Kind of like back to the roots.
Yeah, it was weird. I feel like I never talked this much.
I know.
The episodes. It's weird.
I feel like I talked too much, so it was a good break. It was definitely weird to not have like. I went to open up Microsoft Word and I was like, oh no, I get to be a spectator.
I know. I had handwritten notes this time for my.
I know. I saw you saw paper. Anyways,
yeah, we're just very chatty. It's been a while.
It's been a while. You can tell that we're socially deprived as well.
We sure are.
Okay, guys. Until next time.
Keep on creeping on.